Every mother wants the best for her child. And that's why if a mother feels that she's transmitting not only life to a child, but also risk or danger, it's a big trauma. It's something that can undermine a person very deeply. It's a point at which they need the most generous support available. I'll be speaking to the Revd Patricia Sawo from Kenya, who will be talking out of her own experience of this, and also her experience as a church leader.
In some churches, they talk about HIV and AIDS, and in some, they still don't. But in my church, it's not a big thing. It's something that we talk about. My congregation knows about my status, and people in my church know that this is a place where if they come, they can be loved. And therefore, many people have turned out to me when they are HIV positive, which shows that if church leaders availed themselves, they had the accurate information and the support is there, they can be able to be there for the people. The space can be there.
Patricia, what makes you hopeful about all this situation with mothers and children and HIV?
Well, for me, what makes me so hopeful is the church and the love that a woman can receive in the church, hoping in faith that all things are possible, but at the same time making it a reality by having the space in the church where a woman can grow to be themselves and be able to face all kind of life challenges.
So the church needs to be affirming of women in this position, and also, do you think it has a role in spreading information as well?
Yeah, the church has a role in spreading the information, but not just really spreading the information, empowering the woman to be able to stand and face the challenges. There is this lady that came to me for help. She could access the ARVs for mother to child, but her main issue was, how do I deal with the shame of this? How do I face the other people? How do I answer when they ask me why I'm not breastfeeding my child? And that is something that I personally also struggled with, yet there are things that we can deal with if there is space.
You've used the word space more than once, actually, and I think it's a wonderful one to use for what the church can offer when it's doing its job. Space for people to face themselves, to be themselves, to cope with their future.
You need somewhere to be able to be safe with your realization. And the story of the prodigal son normally beats me here. That things were very difficult, but when he came to realization, there was this place that he knew things would be different.
What happens to children isn't just about mothers, though, is it? It's about fathers, too. How do they come into the picture?
With HIV, it seems to be that the woman is the one that is being pushed to the wall, because it's about the child being infected inside the womb. It's about the child being infected at birth. It's about the child being infected while breastfeeding. But yet at the same time, this is a child that has been brought forth by these two people, a father and a mother. And so for me, it becomes the involvement of men in this would really make it simple, because the many questions that the woman have to deal with would be lesser if they are both involved from the start.
But what are the other big messages you'd want to put out, do you think, to the churches, to the public in general?
Well, for me, the key message to the church is we must make sure that we eradicate stigma, and we must make sure that we overpower our members, our congregations, to be able to overcome all sorts of shame and to be very open about sex and sexuality, because this is where the problem is most of the times. The things we are silent about, the things we never talk about, they are the things that really affect us. So I would wish to have this congregation where my members are controlling the issues that are a crisis to them, and not my members being controlled by the crisis.
The message is that there is hope. We know that the transmission from mother to child is now something that can be dealt with. We need to encourage all our governments to keep up their commitment to making this medical help available and to giving that hope which we know is possible. And in all of that, the churches have a crucial role. Patricia's spoken a lot about how the church can be a safe space, how the church can realize people's potential, how the church really can be a lifesaver here. So we can pray that all our congregations will be themselves the agents of hope that they have the capacity to be.